Fox 25 has been working to investigate the claims of Richard Glossip supporters that information available now was not given to the first two juries. We were able to contact some of those jury members, and we're protecting the identity of one who asked us to share a statement.
Governor Fallin has no reason to second guess, again, either the jurors or the courts, and so the execution will go forward.
The governor's office has repeatedly said they are supporting the jurors who decided Richard Glossip's fate. The office has also said they are upholding the will of 24 jurors in two separate trials, despite that first trial being declared unconstitutional. Now, one of the original jurors is speaking out. In a statement to Fox 25, the juror writes, based on the evidence presented at that trial, they would reach the same verdict, and that they reached that decision based on careful consideration of the evidence. However, after learning of the new evidence in the form of police reports and videotaped confessions, that juror is upset by what the jury never heard. Quote, if the defense would have presented me the case that they are presenting now in the original trial, I would not have given a guilty verdict. The juror goes on to say, I think that now there is enough question/evidence out there that there may be another story than what we, the jurors, were given. The juror adds, I feel that this situation needs to be looked at and at the very least given a 60-day stay to make for certain that all the stones are unturned and everything is looked at with a fine-tooth comb. The juror issued a plea that their opinion be taken into consideration regarding the impending execution. Fox 25 reached out to the governor's office for a comment a day after that office made claims they were supporting all of the 24 jurors. But now the office says that that first trial was unfair and they will not be considering any opinions of the first jurors. Spokesman Alex Wentz emailed Fox 25 saying this juror served in Glossip's first trial, which was thrown out by a court. The fact that Glossip had one conviction overturned and was given a second trial illustrates that our justice system does respond to mistakes and has treated Glossip fairly. Governor Fallin believes in our justice system and is committed to upholding the law. Glossip supporters say they are hopeful the governor's office changes direction and takes this juror's plea into consideration. We've put that full statement on our website. Just go to okcfox.com. Phil Cross, Fox 25 News.
It does give me peace knowing that everybody knows the truth now. They knew that, Justice Snead's been lying all along, and that's all I wanted. That's all I can ask for is for that. If the worst has to happen, then that's all I can ask for is that people know that I was innocent.
Richard Glossip says he was both upset and relieved when he found out a former inmate signed a sworn statement saying Justin Snead bragged about lying to put him on death row. But his anger faded, as it has over the last nearly 20 years.
I didn't want to live all these years being angry at everybody, just becoming a bitter person.
Glossip denies having ever paid or recruited Snead to murder Barry Van Treese. Did you want Barry Van Treese dead in 1997?
Never.
But he does have regrets about the day he learned Van Treese was dead.
I do have regrets because I should have made changes. That very morning when Justin said what he said, I should have called the police immediately. I didn't because I didn't believe him. It's unfortunately there's always regrets in situations like this. You wish you could go back and change the things that happened.
I want a hearing. I want to bring in our witnesses. I do. I want to bring them in and I want to sit them on a witness stand and I want to go ahead and subject them to cross-examination. I'm going to bet on my witnesses because they're great witnesses.
Glossip's attorneys say they will still fight until the last minute and believe the evidence they've uncovered does meet the burden required by the court. Still,
we've shown the people of Oklahoma and of the United States that this man is innocent before he's to be executed. If despite that they still kill him, I don't know what that says about this death penalty.
For Glossip, he has seen himself go from a condemned prisoner no one knew about to being an international headline.
I don't want to die a martyr. Nobody really does. In this situation. But I don't want my death to be, to not, to me. I want my death to be able to make a difference. And if it comes to that, then I hope that people can see now how broken this system really is.
Supporters of his execution say he got justice in two trials. though Fox 25's multiple investigations have revealed not only one juror in one trial who says the new evidence would change their verdict, but also jurors who said they relied on testimony our investigation revealed as questionable at best, and even the fact that potentially crucial evidence was destroyed by police before Glossip's first appeal was even decided. In the end, it has come down to one final plea before the court, and Glossip's attorneys say they will still trust in justice. Phil Cross, Fox 25 News.
Our big story at 5, Richard Glossip's execution has been delayed. The Oklahoma Criminal Court of Appeals stopping today's execution, granting a stay for 2 weeks so they can look at new evidence presented by Glossip's lawyers. We have team coverage for you this evening from the state prison in McAllister to right here in the metro.
Fox 25's Phil Cross and Keaton Fox were in place for Glossip's scheduled execution when the news broke. We're going to start with Phil, though, because he's been following this story since last year. He joins us now live in McAllister with more. Phil.
Good evening, Mike and Wendy. We are here in McAllister, where today's issue with the court wasn't so much a ruling as it was a move of caution by the justices. Even supporters of Glossip's execution told us that it was a prudent move by the justices to allow them more time to carefully consider all the new evidence that's been presented.
The Oklahoma Court of Criminal Appeals has issued a stay for Richard Eugene Glossip.
Just before addressing the media, Department of Corrections Director Robert Patton delivered the news to Richard Glossip's attorneys.
How do you like now? 2 weeks, but I'll take it.
To say they're happy is an understatement. Don Knight and Kathleen Lord were the only two of Glossip's team of supporters and attorneys who were with him during what was supposed to be his final hours.
We said there's been a stay, and he became ecstatic. He said yes, and he pounded on the window. He was just so happy. So he said thank you. He said thank you, thank you, thank you so many times to everybody, really.
Knight says the court's ruling confirms their evidence is not easily dismissed. He believes it would be enough to win a trial, and Glossip's attorneys hope it is enough to meet the high bar required for a hearing before the Court of Criminal Appeals.
We knew we would have one chance, and that's all, just one chance to do this. We wanted to give them as much as we possibly could. It took that long to do it.
Knight says the late filing was not a delay tactic, pointing to the fact that more evidence is still coming in, including information that had previously been withheld from Glossip's defenders until a Fox 25 investigation aired on the eve of his execution.
We just found out after the filing that there was more evidence destroyed by the police department. One item is a white box with papers. That's all we know. And they destroyed it in 1999. You know, before he'd even had an appeal.
This is not some delaying tactic. This is not some PR campaign. We've been doing the really hard work that you have to do in order to get this case done.
Now, the Court of Criminal Appeals has not set any hearing in the state or made any statement about the merits of the new evidence presented. But Glossip's attorneys say they plan to supplement what they already filed with new evidence as it comes in, especially in light of what Fox 25 has recently uncovered. Reporting live in McAllister, Phil Cross, Fox 25 News.
All right, Phil, thank you. Our very own Keaton Fox was outside the prison with Richard Glossip's family when the news broke that the court had granted a stay.
Yeah, Mike, Keaton.
Fox 25's Phil Cross and Keaton Fox were in place for Glossip's scheduled execution when the news broke. We're going to start with Phil, who's been following Richard Glossip's story since last year. He joins us now live in McAllister. Phil.
Good evening, Mike and Wendy. We are here in McAllister, where today's developments were not so much about the court's ruling as it was about the court making a move of caution, one that even Glossip, people who support Glossip's execution say was a very prudent move that will allow the justices more time to fairly consider all the evidence they've been presented.
The Oklahoma Court of Criminal Appeals has issued a stay for Richard Eugene Glossip.
Just before addressing the media, Department of Corrections Director Robert Patton delivered the news to Richard Glossip's attorneys.
How do you like now? 2 weeks, but I'll take it.
To say they're happy is an understatement. Don Knight and Kathleen Lord were
on a decent car for her to drive.